Okay, Chris has made it to Antarctica. So this means we're on the last leg of the game. Now, if you don't mind, I actually am going to take a break for a little bit. Get up, move around, stretch my legs, that sort of thing. And when we come back, we will finish up the game. Alright, let's get back to the action. Okay, you see that big slashy, smashy tendril thing here? Let me tell you a story about that. There was one time I was playing, and I got to this big smashy tendril thing here, and I had no ammunition. Whatever weapon I was using, I think it was the burst handgun, I had no ammunition. I didn't have my knife with me. So there was nothing I could do to get past this tendril, and it had me mad. I was upset. And I had not saved, except at the point where you could change discs. And there is Claire and Steve's plane. So I was a bit mad, and normally I would just say screw it, and I would reload and do it all over again. But I was not in the mood for that. So instead I looked up some cheats, and I found I think it was a Game Shark code that made me very happy. And that was a code that allowed me to access the item box from anywhere. And let me tell you, being able to access the item box from anywhere was a wonderful cheat. That totally changed the feel of the game. And I think it would be an awesome kind of cheat code. Well, not a cheat code, but maybe more like something you could unlock for these games. You know, you beat the game and you get a really high score. In addition to getting a special weapon, you just can access your inventory at any time. Alright, and talking about that, I just Game Sharked again, because I left the fire extinguisher back on Rockford Island, and only Claire could have got it. So, if I hit the X button and the left button, we have access to the security box. And there is the empty fire extinguisher. So, we're just going to keep that between ourselves. We just cheated a little bit, so we could, look at more of the game. I just wanted to, show off as much of the game as possible to you guys. And I've already screwed that up. But hey, in for a penny, in for a pound. Now, there we go. Oh, dang it, off me. This sucker has one of those larvae in him. Jeez, I am getting ruined. I have a shotgun. Why am I not shooting these people? It's tightly sealed. Alright. Yeah, that's it. The zombies were punishing me for cheating. They were mad at me. Oh boy. There, back to fine. Okay, we don't need you. So we're going to drop you off. But I think I'll keep everything else. Well, no. That should do it. There's a hallow-shaped space. A halberd-shaped space. Well, there's a paperweight. And there's a file. Alfred's diary. January 30th. There's a sealed room in the hallway located inside of the Antarctic facility. I don't know what is hidden there, but I do know how to get in. I can use the 3 jewels that each one of our family members wears as proof of being a legitimate descendant of the Ashford family. The only problem is I do not know how I can gain possession of my father's proof. February 17th. I finally succeeded in entering that sealed room. I never could have imagined that such an insane secret existed regarding the birth of both Alexia and myself. I hate my father, that fool Alexander. Now it is obvious that we were merely created in an attempt to cover my father's blunder. I can never trust him again. I must regain the glory of the Ashford family with my sister. I have nothing to be afraid of as long as Alexia is with me. March 3rd. Alexia carried out the experiment on the human body we've been talking about. Our useless father must be happy now, since he can finally contribute to the Ashford family. The only thing we should be careful about is that butler, Harmon, does not become wise to our activities. April 22nd. The experiment resulted in failure. Our father was useless after all. Even worse, he turned into a dangerous monster that is completely out of control. We tied him down and locked him up in the underground prison cell. However, Alexia seems to be close to a solution. Beyond all my expectations, she now says that she wishes to conduct the experiment on her own body. On top of that, she feels she must be kept asleep for 15 years in order to accomplish the experiment. Thanks to that idiot, I can't see my dear Alexia for as long as 15 years. Alexia is going to sleep, with all her trust relying upon me. Now, I am the only one who can protect Alexia. Something else. Ink ribbon. Well, we don't need an ink ribbon. Not yet. Let's take a look at this paperweight. A tool used to hold down documents so they don't scatter. I can't figure out the meaning of the designs on its top and bottom, but the item seems to be related to umbrella. Alright, and you see on this side we have the 2 A's, we have a spade, a heart, a crown. On the bottom we have the umbrella insignia, and on the top we have the biohazard insignia. Those markings on that paperweight are going to be important for a puzzle later. I think I can just drop it off for the time being. Let's take another healing item for the time being. It's going to be a little while before I can get there. I don't think anything has changed in here. Let's take a quick look. Nope, everything seems the same. Oh, wait. Haha, grenade rounds. So now this area is completely flooded. In fact, it's even worse than flooded. It's iced over. And there's something down there. Something big and terrible. A large man whose hands are tied hangs here. But because the ice made a path, we can now get to the other side. There's a control panel over here. But we need the crane key. So if we find a crane key, we're coming back here. Now we've been in here before. There's... Oh. Yeah, this place got smashed. You're still alive? Alright, we got another case. There's something else. Yeah, shotgun shells. We like that. Now this case is also secured by a simple lock. But we don't have lockpicks. Only Claire does. Well, maybe at some point we'll be able to take care of that. Alright, this was the room where we found the, not the crank, but the valve. This place didn't get flooded. It's full of healing items, but I don't think we can get back in here anymore. Okay, but we got the valve handle back. Yeah, sorry, Chris. The zombies are starting to thaw. Alright, now I have a shotgun. This should be an easy problem to fix. Yeah, we solved that pretty easily. Oh, look, Chris.
What? He's here?
Of course he's here. It also means there are hunters. switch. It's extinguishant. It could be used with a fire extinguisher. Well, it could be, except we don't have one. That's alright, we'll come back here after we find an item box. There's a small square hollow. There's a notice. You can drain the water under the following conditions. To clean the tank, to exchange the water. Yeah, but we had to turn our valve handle into an octagon-shaped one. Yeah, now this leads us down into the weapons room. But there's a fire raging. So let's remember, we want to come back this way. Okay. As soon as that turns off. Oh, yep, I hear you. Thought you were going to sneak up on me. Running around on your massive hunter feet. Okay, no, I don't think there's anything here yet. There's a carousel out here. Yeah, we're not going in there. We are going to go in here. It's an electricity connecting device. There's the hollow in a shape of an octagon. Alright, and now we've restored power. There's some handgun bullets here. Ah, and there's an item box. There's also shotgun shells. Okay, so we're not going to need this case for a while. And we're not going to need this valve for a little bit. We're going to go use that fire extinguisher right now. Actually, first, let's clear out some zombies. Get off. I don't think we killed it. I think it's still alive over there. Ooh. Now, does this look familiar to anyone? There was a room exactly like this back in the Spencer mansion. That's right. This is the room from the very first game. Although the solution to this puzzle is a little different. By pushing it over the cracks in the floor, it falls through the floor, and we can grab the map. And just like in the first game, there was a map of the first level floor. And here's something else that should look familiar. A tiger with jewels in its eyes, each one a different color. So let's take the left one first. That causes it to spin around, and look. There's a socket. Okay, we're going to put the jewel back. Now the tiger is going to return to its original position. But this time we're going to take the right jewel. Ooh, and there is something nice. Magnum bullets. Okay, let's put the jewel back. And let's remember that this has a red and a blue jewel, but the statue turns because it runs on electricity. Well, can't go in here unless we've been disinfected. And you hear that? You see those? We just found a massively giant anthill. Okay, let's... Now, the ants are hurting us, but it's only ever so slightly. You see all this blood on the ground and all this blood on the wall? Like somebody was bleeding and dragging themselves across the wall. That's because somebody was. This is the room where Alfred, I can't believe I keep forgetting his name. Alfred released his sister. Alright, the virus research report. Work continues on the T-Veronica virus, which I extracted from the Queen Ant. The more research I conduct on it, the more I am impressed by how much potential it has. I finally implanted the virus into my own body and discovered how to utilize its power. I will avoid making the mistakes that I made on my father. I will suppress the activity of the virus at an ultra-low temperature so that my cells will change slowly. My calculations indicate that it will take 15 years before my body will gain immunity and become able to coexist with the virus. Until then, I have no choice but to trust the capsule that I will be in, and that inept but loyal soldier ant who is my brother. For me to obtain unlimited power, some risks need to be taken. When I awaken, I will be the Queen, and the T-Veronica Virus will be unleashed upon the entire world by my children. Every last creature on Earth will exist to serve me. At that time, the world will achieve a perfect ecosystem, just like the anthill, but on a much grander scale. Alexia Ashford. Yeah, so Alexia's got these delusions that she's going to become queen of the world. Something is written on it. As twins, Alexia and I are two sides of a coin. A design is carved under the name of Alexia. Heart spade, AA crown. There's a button with a design. Push the button. Alright, so we have choices of what buttons we can push. Right now I'm just going to kind of go through all of them. Now I don't have the paperweight, so we can't do anything with that right now. Annoying bugs. Alright, here's another odd area. No, we don't want the green herb. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I can pretty much see everything in here perfectly clear. But there's an old-style alcohol lamp. There's still some alcohol left inside. We can light this lamp. I can still see everything in this room, no problem. I don't know if it's something that maybe was a difference between the Dreamcast and the GameCube version, because I think this game is actually brighter, which is why at the very beginning we could make out Enrico. No, not Enrico. Rodriguez. We can make out Rodriguez, no problem, but we still need to turn on the lighter to see him. So I think that's what happened here. Research report on the Queen Ant. After discovering the remains of an ancient virus within the genes of a queen ant, I have been concentrating on research of ants. The ecosystem of ants seems truly ideal to me. There is one queen in each anthill, and the soldier and worker ants are the queen's slaves. They dedicate their lives to the queen. The death of the queen ant means the doom of the entire anthill. However, the soldiers and worker ants can be easily replaced as long as the queen ant is alive. This is exactly the same relationship between myself and the other ignorant masses. I have succeeded in creating an ideal virus by implanting the ant queen's gene into the mother virus that Spencer found. I used my otherwise useless father as a test subject. However, as expected, the virus caused a rapid change in his cells, triggering the complete destruction of his brain cells and body flesh. Furthermore, a special type of poison gas was generated inside his body that the blue herb has no effect against. Because of this, I created an antidote in case of emergency and stored it inside of the weapon chemical warehouse on the B2 floor. I have decided to name this virus with unimaginable potential the T-Veronica Virus. When I find out how I can utilize the power of my wonderful virus, my great research will finally be complete. Alexia Ashford. Now, I don't think you... Nope, it's you. You're all still alive. Annoying zombie. 3 shots. The queen ant is dead. The anthill seems to have perished. Computer terminal. It must have been hooked up to a supercomputer. Okay, that's all we can do at the moment. Alright, getting sterilized again. At least you're clean, Chris. Go away. Okay, we're going to go back to that room with the extinguishant. Extinguishant? I don't know how to pronounce things. I don't know words. Because we've connected the plug here, and we've turned it back into a square handle. Oh, great. Yeah, a shotgun will still do the trick. But a grenade gun, it's just the right thing. So I went through the trouble of getting this fire extinguisher to work. I should probably take the time to refill it, shouldn't I? Alright, now we have a full working fire extinguisher again. Something bad happened here. So why did we want to drain this tank? Well, it ends up at the bottom of it is the crane key. And there's a venomous hunter. Good. Dead. That is exactly what you should be. Alright, so now we should be able to extinguish this fire. And this sparking electrical wire is what started it. But now we have a Magnum. Most powerful handgun in the world. Colt Python, an American gun, uses 357 Magnum rounds. And we have the heat-sensitive explosive. So Chris is just going to use his lighter here. Kaboom. Now, nothing too exciting. Just a bunch of handgun bullets. But that's actually a whole lot better than nothing. But the real prize was that Magnum. Alright, and the crane key pulls, well, it's Nosferatu.
Who could have done this?
And there she is.
Alexia.
That is how I dispose of insignificant bugs, said the spider to the fly. How do you wish to die?
And there's the spider. What that spider was doing underwater, in freezing cold water, is beyond me. But hey, it's like a zombie spider. Probably doesn't need air. So this is an optional boss. We can sit here and fight with it. But really what we want is this green gem. It's Alexander's Pierce. And if we take a look at it, it appears the jewel portion can be removed. So we just want the metal portion to be taken away and keep the green jewel. So I'll be careful with this spider. Usually I don't bother with it, but we'll try to take it out. And we just blew off its back. So that was like an egg sac or something on its back. Now there are a bunch of little spiders. But we can just run those over. Okay, where do I want to go next?